The speaker begins by explaining that her name feels like a mockery because she was born at the cost of her mother's life and grew up under her father's resentment. All her life, she has tried to clean a house covered with the soot of his anger. The broom in her hands becomes more than a household object. It represents her effort to remove pain, guilt, and inherited sorrow. Yet, while she cleans the walls, ashes remain inside her heart. The speaker says that her name mocks her because she was born at the cost of her mother's life. A name that might normally suggest hope now carries guilt, grief, and the hatred of her father. From the first lines, the poem shows how a person can inherit a story before she is old enough to understand it. Esperanza must live with a name that holds both possibility and pain, and she must decide whether that name will define her future. The speaker believes that her birth cost her mother's life. Because of this, her first breath is connected to a loss she did not choose and cannot repair. The missing mother becomes part of the speaker's identity, even though there are no living conversations to explain what happened. The poem presents grief as something inherited, a silence inside the family that shapes the child from the beginning and makes love feel inseparable from absence. The speaker describes her father's hatred as thick soot covering the house. It stains the walls, appears in his eyes, and leaves its mark on her. The resentment is not a single angry moment. It is an atmosphere in which she has grown up. The house becomes a map of inherited pain, showing how a parent's bitterness can settle over a child's life, turn ordinary rooms into emotional burdens, and make the past feel impossible to clean. All her life, the speaker has tried to wipe away the marks left by her father's resentment. The broom represents work, endurance, and the hope that a damaged home can become livable again. She cleans the walls, but she is also trying to separate herself from the anger that shaped her childhood. Every sweep is an effort to remove blame, reclaim her identity, and make room for a life that belongs to her rather than to the grief of her parents. The poem ends with a powerful contrast. In her hands, the speaker holds a broom. In her heart, she holds ashes. The broom shows her continuing effort to clean, change, and survive, while the ashes reveal that pain cannot simply be swept away. Esperanza is not a story of forgetting the past. It is the story of recognizing inherited grief, understanding how resentment leaves marks, and trying to create a different future from what remains.